I came home early to surprise my wife and found her phone unlocked on the counter. One text message. Last night was incredible. When can I see you again? From a name I didn't recognize. I scrolled up. 6 months of messages. 6 months of lies. 6 months while I was working 70-hour weeks to pay for the life she wanted. Welcome to Ryan's Revelations, where we bring you true stories of betrayal, infidelity, and marriages destroyed by lies. What you're about to hear is the confession of a 34-year-old man who discovered his wife as affair through text messages. A woman he'd been married to for 8 years. A woman he'd trusted with everything. This is a story about blind trust, devastating discovery, and the moment your entire world collapses in a single afternoon. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. We post true betrayal stories 3 times a week. And if you've experienced this kind of pain, drop a comment below. This is a judgment-free space. This story gets brutal, raw, real, no happy endings here. Just the truth about what cheating does to a marriage. Let's begin. My name is David. I'm 34, living in Denver, Colorado. I work as a project manager for a tech company. Long hours, frequent travel, but the money's good. I thought I was building a life for us. My wife Sarah is 32. We met 10 years ago at a friend's barbecue. She had this smile that could light up a room. We clicked instantly, got married after 2 years of dating. Small wedding in the mountains. I thought she was my forever person. The first few years were great. We bought a house in the suburbs, adopted a dog, talked about starting a family. Sarah quit her marketing job to start her own consulting business from home, and I supported her completely. Took on extra projects to cover our bills while she built her client base. I trusted her. Completely. Never questioned where she was or what she was doing. Why would I? She was my wife. That trust was my biggest mistake. It started small. Little things I didn't think much about at the time. Sarah started going to the gym more. 5 days a week, sometimes 6. I'm just trying to get in shape, she'd say. Feel better about myself, I encouraged her. Bought her new workout clothes, a gym membership at this fancy place downtown. I was proud of her dedication. She started dressing differently too. More effort into her appearance. New makeup, new perfume, tighter clothes. When I complimented her, she'd shrug it off. Just trying something new. Her phone became an extension of her hand. Always face down on the table. Always taking it to the bathroom, to the bedroom, even to walk the dog. When I'd ask who she was texting, she'd say just a client, or just my mom. I never pushed. I trusted her. She started having late client meetings. Twice a week, sometimes 3 times. She'd come home at 9 or 10 p.m., claiming she'd been at a coffee shop working on proposals. I'd have dinner waiting. She'd barely touch it, saying she'd grab something earlier. Our sex life died. Slowly at first, then completely. I'm just tired, she'd say. Work stress. I believed every word, because that's what you do when you love someone. You believe them. I was traveling for work a lot. 3-4 days a week sometimes. Big projects, tight deadlines. I'd call her every night from hotel rooms, and she'd tell me about her day. How she'd signed a new client. How she'd gone to yoga. How she missed me. All lies. The truth? She was with him. While I was in Chicago closing deals, she was in our bed with another man. It all came crashing down on a Tuesday afternoon in October. I was supposed to be in Seattle until Thursday. But the client meeting got canceled last minute, so I caught an early flight home. Figured I'd surprise Sarah. Maybe take her out to a nice dinner. I got home around 3 p.m. Her car was in the driveway, which was normal since she worked from home. I walked in quietly, wanting to surprise her. The house was silent. Murphy didn't even bark, which was weird. I set my bag down and noticed her purse on the counter. Keys and her phone. Face up. Unlocked. I wouldn't have looked. I swear I wouldn't have. But a notification popped up right as I walked by. A text message from someone named Jake Trainer. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about your body. When's your husband traveling again? My stomach dropped. My hand started shaking as I picked up her phone. I opened the conversation, and my entire world shattered. Months of messages. Hundreds of them. Explicit photos she'd sent him, photos I'd never seen. Photos taken in our bedroom, in our bathroom, wearing lingerie I didn't know she owned. Messages about meeting at his apartment. At hotels, in his car in the gym parking lot. Messages mocking me. He's so clueless, she'd written. He actually thinks I'm at client meetings. Jake would respond. His loss, my gain. You're incredible. I scrolled back. 6 months. The affair had been going on for 6 months. While I was working 70-hour weeks. While I was traveling to provide for us. While I was calling her every night saying I loved her. She was fucking her personal trainer. I stood there in my kitchen, my legs shaking, reading message after message. Each one was a knife in my chest. Then I heard water running upstairs. The shower. She was home. Upstairs. Probably getting ready for another client meeting. I walked up the stairs, her phone in my hand, each step feeling like I was walking toward my own execution. The bathroom door was open. Steam poured out. I could see her silhouette through the shower door. I pushed the bathroom door fully open. David? Her voice was shocked. You're home early. I didn't hear you come in. I held up her phone. My voice was eerily calm. Who's Jake? The color drained from her face. Even through the shower steam, I could see it. What? Who? She was scrambling. Jake, your trainer. The guy you've been fucking for 6 months. She froze. Just stood there in the shower, water running over her, staring at me. I can explain. My voice cracked. Explain how you've been sleeping with him in our bed? Explain the photos? Explain how you mocked me to him while I was working to pay your bills? She turned off the water, grabbed a towel. Her hands were shaking. David, please, just let you what? I was yelling now. 8 years of trust exploding out of me. Let you lie to me again? Let you tell me it didn't mean anything? Let you gaslight me into thinking I'm crazy? She stepped out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, mascara starting to run. It was a mistake. I was lonely. You're never home. Don't you dare. I cut her off. Don't you dare blame me for your cheating. I was working for us. For this house. For your business. For our future. I know, I'm sorry. How many times? I asked. How many times did you sleep with him? She couldn't look at me. How many times, Sarah? I don't know, she whispered. I don't know. Guess. Maybe 30 times, 40? 40 times. While I was on business trips. While I was at work. While I was sleeping next to her at night, completely oblivious. In our bed? She nodded, tears streaming down her face. Did you love him? No, it was just physical, I swear. That makes it better? I laughed, bitter and broken. That you threw away our marriage for mediocre gym sex? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Sarah? Help me understand how my wife became someone I don't even recognize. She sank onto the bathroom floor, sobbing. I felt invisible. You were always working, always traveling. He paid attention to me. He made me feel desired. I paid attention to you, I said, my voice breaking. I called you every night. I supported your business. I loved you. I know, she sobbed. I know you did. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I set her phone on the counter. I'm going to a hotel. When I come back tomorrow, I want you to be gone. Take whatever you want. I don't care anymore. David, please, we can work through this. Work through this? I stared at her. You cheated on me for 6 months. You lied to my face every single day. You made me feel crazy for even questioning you. There's nothing to work through, but I love you. No, you don't, I said it calmly. Finally seeing the truth, you loved what I provided. The house. The money, the stability. But you didn't love me. Because if you did, you wouldn't have done this. I walked out of that bathroom, down the stairs, grabbed my bag and left. I drove to a hotel on the other side of Denver and checked into a room, sat on the bed, and finally let myself fall apart. I cried harder than I'd ever cried in my life. For the marriage I thought I had. For the woman I thought she was. For the future we planned that would never happen. My phone kept buzzing. Texts from Sarah, 47 of them by the time I turned it off. Please come home. I made a terrible mistake. I'll do anything to fix this. We can go to counseling. Please don't throw away 8 years. 8 years. She was right about that. 8 years together. And she'd destroyed it all for a guy named Jake who worked at a gym. Before we continue, I need to know what you think. Was Sarah's affair justified because David was working too much? Or is cheating never okay no matter the circumstances? Drop a comment right now and tell me where you stand. And if you think David should have tried counseling instead of walking away, hit that like button. Because what happens next gets even messier. I stayed at that hotel for 3 days. Called in sick to work, which I never do. Just lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to process what my life had become. Sarah kept calling. I blocked her number after the 50th call. She showed up at the hotel on day 2. I don't know how she found me. The front desk called my room. There's a woman here asking for you, says she's your wife. Tell her I'm not here, I said. And tell her if she comes back, I'll call the police. She left. But she sent emails instead. Long, rambling emails about how sorry she was. How it started innocently, just training sessions. How he'd flirted with her and she'd been flattered. How one thing led to another. She blamed loneliness, blamed my travel schedule, blamed feeling unappreciated. What she didn't do was take actual responsibility. Every "I'm sorry" came with a "but." I'm sorry, but you were never home. I'm sorry, but I felt neglected. I'm sorry, but he made me feel attractive again. On day 4, I went home. She'd moved out like I asked. Took most of her clothes, her laptop, some books. Left everything else. The house felt empty. Not just because her stuff was gone, but because it didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a crime scene. I couldn't sleep in our bedroom, knowing what had happened there. I slept on the couch for 2 weeks before finally moving my stuff into the guest room. I hired a divorce lawyer the next day. Best in Denver, came highly recommended. We filed for divorce based on adultery, which in Colorado meant I had grounds to push for a favorable settlement. Sarah tried to fight it at first. Wanted to go to counseling, asked for another chance. My lawyer shut that down fast. Your wife committed adultery multiple times over 6 months. Document everything, save those text messages. Screenshot those emails. We're going for the throat. The divorce took 4 months, longest 4 months of my life. We had to divide assets. The house, I kept it. Made her buy out her half. She couldn't afford it without my income, so she had to take a loan from her parents. That felt like justice. She wanted alimony. Claimed she'd sacrificed her career to build her business. My lawyer laughed in her face. You sacrificed your marriage to sleep with your trainer. You get nothing, the judge agreed. No alimony. No spousal support. Clean break. I found out more details during discovery. Turned out Jake wasn't even her trainer. He was the front desk guy at the gym. 26 years old, still living with roommates, making $12 an hour. She'd thrown away our marriage for a broke gym employee. The worst part? Finding out who knew. Sarah's best friend knew. Had known for months. Covered for her. Even lied to me directly when I called asking where Sarah was. One of her sisters knew. Found out and told Sarah she was living her truth, and I was controlling for working so much. Even some of our mutual friends knew, saw them together at restaurants, at bars, and said nothing to me. I lost more than my wife in that divorce. I lost my entire social circle. The day the divorce was finalized, I sat in my lawyer's office signing papers. Sarah was there with her lawyer, crying, playing the victim even then. When it was done, she tried to approach me. David, I'm so sorry for everything. I hope someday you can forgive me. I looked at her. This woman I'd loved for 10 years. This stranger I already have, I said. But that doesn't mean I want you in my life. Goodbye, Sarah. And I walked out. Never looked back. It's been 8 months since the divorce. 8 months of rebuilding my life from scratch. I sold the house. Too many memories. Too much pain. Moved into a condo downtown, closer to work. I focused on my career. Got promoted to senior director. The irony isn't lost on me that the job she resented is now thriving. I started therapy. Dealing with trust issues, with the trauma of betrayal. It helps. Some days more than others. I heard through the grapevine that Sarah and Jake didn't last. Apparently, once the affair became a relationship, the excitement died. They broke up 3 months after my divorce was finalized. She reached out once about 6 months post-divorce. Long text message about how she'd made the biggest mistake of her life. How she realized what she'd lost. How she wanted to try again. I didn't respond. Deleted it without reading past the first few lines. Some people asked if I'll ever trust anyone again. Honestly, I don't know. What Sarah did broke something in me. That fundamental belief that if you love someone and treat them well, they'll do the same for you. Now I know that's not always true. Sometimes people cheat not because you failed them, but because they're selfish. Because they want excitement. Because they can. And there's nothing you can do to prevent that. I don't date yet. Not ready. Maybe someday. But right now, I'm focusing on me. On healing. On learning to be alone without being lonely. Murphy's still with me. Best decision of the marriage, adopting that dog. My career's better than ever. I bought a nice car, started traveling for fun instead of work. Took up hiking, I'm okay. Not happy, not yet. But okay. And that is more than I thought I'd be 8 months ago when my world collapsed in my kitchen. They say time heals all wounds. I don't know if that's true, but time makes them hurt less. And right now, that's enough. So what do you think? Did David handle this the right way, or should he have fought for his marriage? Was Sarah's affair unforgivable, or does everyone deserve a second chance? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and tell me. Number 1, would you have tried counseling or ended it immediately like David? Number 2, have you ever discovered a partner's infidelity? How did you find out? Number 3, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater? And number 4, what would you have done in David's position? This is a safe space. Share your story, your pain, your truth. You're not alone in this. If this story hit you hard, you need to watch these next. My husband's secret second family. A betrayal that went even deeper. I caught my wife with my brother. The ultimate family destruction. She cheated with my boss, an affair that cost everything. Check the links in the description or click the videos appearing on your screen. If you made it to the end, you know what real betrayal feels like. Whether you've lived it or you're trying to understand it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with more true stories of infidelity and betrayal. And smash that like button if you want more real confessions like this. It takes 1 second and helps this channel reach people who need to hear they're not alone. Thank you for watching this Ryan's Revelations exclusive. This was a true story about marriage betrayal, discovered infidelity, and rebuilding after your world falls apart. Remember, if someone cheats on you, it's not your fault. Working hard doesn't justify betrayal. Being busy doesn't excuse infidelity. And you deserve someone who chooses you every single day. Until next time, this is Ryan's Revelations, bringing you the raw truth about relationships, betrayal, and survival. Stay strong. Stay honest. And never settle for someone who makes you feel like you're not enough.